Now look, today, Africa, the entire continent, did celebrate the Africa Anti-Corruption Day, standing on a couple of pillars, promote integrity and then also united against graft. Whether they are serious about it, that's another matter as a continent. However, here in Uganda, we lose quite a bit of money to graft.
That's 10 trillion shillings lost to graft, and that is probably one of the reasons why there is a pair going up and about in the country, making sure that that number comes down. And because of that, I can tell you there are very few places in this country where graders are not moving like at breakneck speed. Graders are moving at breakneck speed.
Minister Baramajja, 8 a.m. they drive out.
Graders are even moving at 10 p.m. And tonight in that direction, we do have a very special guest. And who that guest is?
We'll be speaking to the Ombudsman of Government, the Inspectorate of Government, that is Justice right there, Naluze Aisha Batala, and she will be speaking to us in regards of there's just so many agencies going around fighting corruption, and I can mention all of them. One, there's a unit inside State House fighting corruption. There's the IGG, there's the Auditor General. How are they harmonizing efforts to fight corruption? The figure, keep it in mind, it is 10 trillion shillings lost annually due to corruption. So how do we deal with that?
So tonight, the Ombudsman will become the Ombudswoman. Let's get into the headlines.
Coming up in the news tonight,
Kampala's drainage system remains operational but is under increasing pressure.
City floods.
The impact very high.
KCCA needs 768 billion shillings to solve a problem they created.
The abuse is by both the haves and the have-nots.
Why did they allow businessmen to construct long drainage channels? Besje given 2 weeks to choose legal team from the hundreds provided by the state. Who has the qualifications he needs?
The legal team we have is a team we are very comfortable with.
The first consignment of relief aid destined for Karamoja arrives this Friday. How much is enough?
Now there have been reports that the chairperson has resigned.
Mariam Wangadia remains chairperson Uganda Human Rights Commission even after her notice of resignation.
Notice to resign does not amount to resignation.
Malaria outbreak in schools. Minister confirms death of 4 learners. The good news is President Yoweri Museveni commissions beef processing plant in Gombe district.
You just need 100 big farmers, each one able to give you 300 and something cows a year.
This is NBS Live at 9 with Victoria Sibia, Samson Kasumba and Kanari Mugume.
Welcome aboard NBS Live at 9. On to our top story tonight. Members of Parliament on the Physical Infrastructure Committee have criticised officials from the Kampala Capital City Authority, KCCA, for allegedly turning a blind eye as wealthy individuals encroach on wetlands and drainage channels, saying this has turned Kampala into a flood-prone city whenever it rains. The committee questioned the KCCA officials after learning that the authority requires 768 billion shillings to permanently address flooding in Kampala. The funds would be used to rehabilitate and expand 362 kilometers of drainage channels, including Nachivubo, Lubiji, Gaba, Kansanga, Nalukolongo, and others, according to the development plan of 2026, 2027, 2030, 2031.
KCCA Deputy Executive Director Benon Kigenyi appeared before the Parliament's Physical Infrastructure Committee chaired by Mwine Mpaka, where MPs demanded an explanation why businessmen are allowed to construct buildings in the Nachivubo drainage channel.
You don't talk about who is encroaching on this channel?
Kigenyi told the committee that although Hamis Chigundu had started construction before obtaining approval from KCCA, he later complied with the authority's requirements and was subsequently granted permission while the buildings were already under construction.
That construction is now approved. It is there.
Okay, that is something
it is an approved.
go back to.
It is an approved project.
Finish his question.
His explanation angered committee members who questioned whether KCCA was acting independently or taking instructions from other individuals or authorities.
Some of this investment, like the investment in Nachivubo Channel, has it had a measurable reduction in the floods? Should we assume that after this construction was set up, we should never see any floods in the near future?
Get the approvals when the project has been done. Was an impact assessment plan done before? No. Then how did he get the approval later? And this is what we call smart corruption.
We have realized a number of illegal constructions as outlined in their report. One of the key causes of blockage of the channels and causing flooding.
Members of Parliament said they could not accept a situation where taxpayers lose more than 20 billion in compensation to traders whose property is damaged by floods caused by blocked drainage channels, while the developer accused of building on the Nachivubo Channel is not held financially responsible.
The Nachivubo Channel, specifically, government has gone to a tune of over 20 billion to compensate these people, I believe, under the office of the Prime Minister.
We are going to see again more traders coming to Parliament, appealing to government to compensate more of their properties which are going to be spoiled by floods because of this permanent structure.
Of compensation should have gone for other projects. Should have gone to handle the hunger issues now in Karamoja. Should have gone to handle the landslide issues.
The committee also demanded to know what immediate measures KCCA has put in place to prevent flooding during the rainy season.
The management is also coming in. So Kampala Capital City Authority needs to wake up.
MPs also accused the authority of failing to stop wealthy individuals from reclaiming wetlands and drainage channels with soil and other materials.
900 people who have been confirmed to have been compensated along with Luigi. But recently when we saw the evictions, when the NEMA was evicting these people, they were crying out to government, they were not compensated.
Chigenye maintained that KCCA needs 768 billion shillings over the next 5 years to comprehensively solve Kampala's flooding problem.
To finance priority drainage improvement projects, strengthen maintenance capacity, and improve the resilience of Kampala's drainage infrastructure.
Government has confirmed that 4 learners in the Kampala metropolitan area have died from severe malaria that has broken out in schools. Presenting a ministerial statement in Parliament on Wednesday, Minister for Health, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, said that 2 of the learners were from Makerere College School, 1 from Mengo Secondary School and 1 from Gayaza High School.
Right, Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members.
The Minister for Health, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, has confirmed that 4 learners have died following a severe malaria outbreak that has hit schools in the Kampala metropolitan area.
The Ministry of Health confirms that 4 learners have died in the Kampala metropolitan area following severe malaria. In the school, 1 child died due to severe malaria. Child died due to severe malaria. In the Gayaza High School, 1 learner also died due to severe malaria. In Inaria Secondary School, we lost 1 learner due to suicide, and this was not related to malaria.
To respond to the crisis, Dr. Baryomunsi said government has set up a multi-sectoral task force to assess the burden of malaria, dismissing claims that this is a new strain of malaria.
What has killed these learners is the same type of parasite which ordinarily causes malaria. It's not a new strain that has caused this. So on the basis of the current genomic and clinical surveillance data, the ministry's technical position is that there is no evidence of a new malaria strain driving these deaths.
He added that the Ministries of Health and Education have agreed to work more closely on school health.
1, risk communication and community engagement. Number 2, vector control in and around school environments. Number 3, early diagnosis and treatment. Number 4, emergency referral for severe cases.
Dr. Baryomunsi also issued a public health warning, noting that certain groups are at a higher risk of severe malaria, mentioning pregnant women and people who take alcohol.
That there are factors, for purposes of information, which attract mosquitoes to an individual. For instance, a pregnant woman attracts mosquitoes compared to one who is not pregnant. There is also...
You may have to explain.
Yes, I can. There is also evidence.
Is it about the size of stomach, like for general kidding?
There is also evidence, Right Honorable Speaker, that if you are consuming alcohol, especially beer, you also attract mosquitoes. Yes.
That's very humorous from the Minister of Health. And let's get to the debate around fighting corruption. And the name that comes to mind is the one of the brand new local government minister, Bargahara's, and his new approach to overseeing government projects. And this has sparked widespread debate. While many Ugandans say that this is long overdue in the fight against corruption and poor service delivery, professionals are on the other side, particularly the engineers. They are arguing that they've been sidelined from the process, but the minister, Balam Bargahara, insists he will not relent, warning that anyone implicated in causing financial loss to government will be taken to court. He is not mincing his words.
Social media, Ugandans have already begun sharing funny videos about engineers and other public officials, especially those believed to be working in areas the Minister of Local Government is expected to visit. The Uganda Institute of Professional Engineers has welcomed the government's resolve to tackle corruption and poor workmanship.
And that means that we are willing to work together with the local government officials and the government of Uganda. The Chisanja no sleep. We are totally behind it as UIPE.
However, the professional body says the approach should have involved engineers from the beginning.
Is that there should be fairness in this whole process of catching engineers. We are against the chariot, the parading of engineers and having them be put on handcuffs without the due process of investigation.
Speaking to NBS Television, local government minister Balam Bargahara defended his actions, saying they are fully supported by the Constitution and the Local Governments Act.
We shall follow our rules and we shall ensure that our rules are in line. You see, many people hide under their association to steal and make the country lose.
The minister has urged engineers to put their profession in order and expose colleagues who have turned public projects into avenues of stealing taxpayers' money through negligence and corruption.
They should tell them, if you don't want to be exposed by Balam and team, please do the right job. Follow the BOQ. You see, we have a work plan, we have a BOQ, we have a budget. First of all, you get a BOQ, you get a budget for that BOQ, you get a work plan for the BOQ, for the project.
We asked the minister whether he also possesses enough technical expertise required to determine whether engineers are up to the task and not responsible for the losses suffered by government for compromising the quality of public projects funded by taxpayers.
So once I find you didn't follow the work plan, it doesn't require me to be an engineer to know that you did wrong.
Legal and governance experts say that this is the kind of accountability and transparency that Ugandans have been waiting for.
And as Ugandans, we've been calling out our politicians and saying we want to see different. I think I'd like to applaud Honorable Balam for the efforts he's putting, for the light he's shining on this corruption. Maybe it will increase accountability.
This, however, caution that the fight against corruption must be conducted within the confines of the law.
But I'd like to urge him, in order for this work to actually remain legitimate, to ensure that the rule of law is followed, that procedure is followed, that the right people arrest these people or process them in the right way, and then they are prosecuted also in a very in a way that protects their interests.
Despite this, Minister Balam says he will not back down until service delivery in local government improves, dismissing claims by some critics that his approach amounts to political theatrics and borderline ministerial overreach.
You know why are they making noise? Why are they raising alarm? They are raising alarm simply because they don't want to be seen.
Now, uniquely, Africa does have a whole day to commemorate the fight against corruption. Now, Uganda as a country joined the rest of the continent to commemorate Africa Anti-Corruption Day. Leaders are now calling for a united front against graft, urging public servants to lead by example, institutions to strengthen accountability systems, and citizens to reject corruption at every level of government. The question is, will citizens reject?
Uganda has joined the rest of Africa in commemorating Africa Anti-Corruption Day, observed every 11th July, to renew the continent's commitment to fighting corruption under the African Union Convention on Preventing and Combating Corruption. The commemoration comes at a time when Uganda is estimated to lose 10 trillion shillings annually to corruption, a vice that continues to drain public resources and undermine service delivery. According to State Minister for Ethics and Integrity, Rose Lily Akello, the fight against corruption must begin with individuals and urged politicians, religious leaders and ordinary citizens to embrace integrity in their daily lives.
It should not be only government, it should not only be IG, it should not only be the ministers or the members of parliament. It should be all of us, being it cultural leaders, traditional leaders, the media, and even you public servants and all the politicians. It is our duty to fight this vice called corruption.
Delivering the keynote address, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Local Government, Ben Kamumanya, challenged district leaders to stop waiting for citizens to expose corruption. He urged accounting officers and local government officials to identify and report corruption within their own institutions, reminding them that public office is a trust.
It shall be held in trust for the people. So if you are a cow, town clerk, anybody out there, it should be clear today that the office you are holding is in trust of the people. And therefore, if you are given resources to deliver for services to the people, for health services, for education, for bridges, for roads, know that you are holding that office in trust, and therefore your job is to make sure these resources reach the people.
That the fight against corruption should move beyond arrests and prosecutions. She said the real measure of success will be when government institutions build strong systems capable of detecting and preventing corruption before public money is lost.
We need to put mechanisms in place for us to be able to detect corruption and then be able to fight it in the long run. So that's why we are bringing all institutions on board, because we cannot fight this alone. It is a concerted effort of all the citizens of this country and all the leaders out there.
She maintained that weak oversight creates fertile ground for corruption and called for greater vigilance across all government agencies.
Let's still watching NBS Live at 9. Now, Canary, in every home, if you want to, the ombudswoman in every home is the mother, because that's how you stop money meant for school fees ending up in alcohol. That's corruption. So I don't know why they say ombudsman and never ombudswoman. Tonight we have the only ombudswoman that I know.
They are all ombudswomen in the entire office of the IGG. Herself, Naluze Aisha Batala, and all her deputies. They are all women. They are all ombudswomen.
That works.
All right, so I'm now joined by the current ombudswoman or ombudsman, the IGG of this country, that is Naluze Aisha Batala, to just speak a little bit about what exactly is being done about the fight on corruption. Lady Justice, many thanks for joining us this evening. Look, I can mention to you all the institutions that are available to fighting corruption. You have your office and your two other deputies. You have, the State House Anti-Corruption Unit. You have the one for the investors, which is called SHIPU. You have the Leadership Code Tribunal. You have the CID. You have police. You have the Auditor General. You have the Anti-Corruption Division of the High Court, PPDA, Financial Intelligence Authority. I mean, I can go on and on until the cows come home. My question is, how do you harmonize on, who should handle what?
Okay, good evening, viewers. Thank you so much, Canary, for the question. It is a pleasure to be here this evening. First of all, today we commemorated the African Anti-Corruption Day. It is normally commemorated on the 11th of July, but this year it fell on a Saturday, so we decided to celebrate it today. And the purpose for which it was formed by the African Union Convention is to fight corruption, for all the institutions that fight corruption to come together to send out the message against the fight against corruption.
Right.
Yes, so what you asked today, we have so many agencies that fight corruption within the country. And all these agencies are brought together under the Interagency Forum that is run by the State Minister for Ethics and Integrity. What you're asking is if
harmonization.
Harmonization of all
sort of like
agencies.
Everyone is running around to fight corruption, and all of a sudden we're losing 10 trillion shillings.
Okay, first of all, the Inspectorate of Government is the constitutionally mandated institution that fights corruption. But along the way, so many other agencies are also mandated to fight corruption, because this is not a war for one institution to fight. So as we do our work, we work alongside the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, the CID, the Office of the DPP, and PPDA, the Public Procurement and Disposal Authority, and then the Auditor General. But in so doing, we normally coordinate through this interagency forum. When one institution is carrying out an investigation, we are normally in the know. So if one agency has reached a certain stage and we agree that you are far ahead in the investigations, we normally stop and we let the other agency continue with the investigation.
Right.
Then number two as well, most of the agencies have expertise that the Inspectorate of Government does not have. For instance, the police, they have a very sophisticated lab, and they also handle the handwriting expert reports. So we normally rely on each other as we do our work, but we do not create a conflict in so doing.
All right, I hear you.
Somehow we kind of intertwine and know how to go about the investigation.
I hear you. So you probably are probably in the know of the investigation of ongoing of the former Speaker Anita Among that is being carried out by security. But if you could just draw for us a picture, what does it look like? What does the burden look like in terms of human and capital resource when you're executing your work as the IGG?
Okay, first of all, as the Inspectorate of Government, we have continuously highlighted to Parliament in our annual reports the challenges we face with our human and social capital. For instance, as I speak now, the Inspectorate of Government has a staff of about 342 compared to the workload. When you look at our workload for this financial year, as we stand now, it's about 3,392 compared to last financial year when it was about 2,942. So we are still grappling with the issue of staffing, but we are engaging with the government to help us improve our resources. Like recently, our budget has been enhanced with a little budget, which is going to help us in our staffing gaps and also the resources, especially in regards to motor vehicles, because you see, as investigators, most of our work is in the field, and 80% of our fleet is really dilapidated. But we have gotten an enhancement in this financial year, so this is going to help us improve, especially with the transportation and the training capacity.
Right. Away from the training gaps, staffing gaps, and fleet, in the field, you entered office in Feb 2026. It's been 5 months since you entered office. What would you say in this first half of the year has been your most challenging task that you can point to?
Okay, first of all, I have actually been in office for 8 months. I'm making 8 months.
Oh, 8, not
On
5
Friday
years.
this week,
Yes.
I'll be making 8 months in office. But the biggest challenge that I have faced in the fight against corruption is the mindset. The mindset change. Ugandans have normalized corruption. They actually glorify corruption. So what we are embarking on mostly right now is to sensitize the masses on the problems that come with corruption. Because you see, at the end of the day, corruption affects all of us. You, me, and everyone, especially when it comes to service delivery. When you go to hospitals and there is no medicine, you are equally affected. When you move on the roads that are dilapidated with all the potholes, you are all affected. So it is a concerted effort for all of us. So if we can tackle the issue of mindset change, that is the biggest problem so far we have faced. And then the second one is the fact that corruption cases are very complex and syndicated. So it is so hard for you to investigate a corruption case, because in this syndication, most of the corruption is hid in layers. You have to open so many layers for you to establish where the corruption actually began. And most of it really starts from the budgeting process. At the budgeting process, that is where the corruption begins. So because of the shortage we have in our capacity building in regards to maybe financial analysis, fraud examination, this is causing a very big problem for us to really make a headway, but we are trying to do our best.
All right. My last question is going to be, looking at everything that you've done. Sometimes you go and order for the arrest of senior officials in government or different government agencies. They return to work all of a sudden. You saw the incident in Tororo. My question to you is, how do you then deal with this? But also, have you encountered a thing called small fish and big fish?
Okay, thank you so much, Canary. When you look at the mandate of the Inspectorate of Government, the Ombudsman role is one of our mandates. The Ombudsman role is the friendly face of the IG. The IG is not specifically about biting. We have the friendly face of the IG, which is called the Ombudsman role. The Ombudsman role basically monitors service delivery. So when we go out to do these spot checks and we arrest these people, most of the problems we have encountered during the spot check are not necessarily criminal offenses. For instance, what happened in Tororo, what we found on ground was that the toilets had not been maintained, the patients were sleeping on old mattresses, yet the store was full of mattresses, and then the compound was not maintained. These actions are normally handled under the Ombudsman face, where we hold boardroom sessions. We hold boardroom sessions with these officers and find out what the problem is. So in Tororo, that is exactly what happened. We invited these people to our offices, we sat in the boardroom and agreed, please go and work on this, go and work on this. So that is why these people, at the end of the day, were released. It's not that we arrest people and release them.
Right.
Most of these cases are not specifically criminal that you actually have to take a person to court for failure to do a service delivery.
Thank you, Lady Justice. Before I let you go, you derive your mandate from Chapter 13 and 14 of the Constitution. Of the two teeth that you derive your mandate from, which of the two are sharper to bite? Would you have any to bite?
I beg your pardon?
What I'm asking is that I know you derive your mandate from, from the Constitution. That is 13 and 14 chapters. Yeah. Of the two teeth, if the two chapters were teeth, which one is sharper to bite? Which one bites and which one doesn't? Or do you need all of them to be biting if they actually do?
Yes, definitely. They both have to work hand in hand. Then I forgot you talked about something to do with the big and the small fish.
Yes.
You know, when it comes to corruption, there's no big and small fish. Actually, to me, in my opinion, the smaller fish is more dangerous. The smaller fish is more dangerous. So for me, a thief is a thief. So
thank you very much, Lady Justice IGG, and that is of course the IGG Naluze Aisha Batala speaking to us about what is important in the fight against corruption as the country does commemorate the Africa Anti-Corruption Day. Now here is more to come.
More to come, brought to you by
Global Paint. How? For the seating. For us, we use Global Mat.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
When we return from the break, government rolls out emergency food relief in Karamoja. We'll tell you more about that and what exactly government is doing and how the president was able to come in real quick to address that emergency. So, ombudsman, ombudswoman, ombudswomen, don't think the English matters. What matters is that of the two teeth, can you bite?
It's the small fish.
The small fish.
The biggest problem.
So the mukene is eating big but remaining small.
And there are also many.
Our NBS Live at 9 takes a break. When we return.
They share an office. Some work in the day, some at night. What they have in common: focus, dedication. That's what makes them champions. They also share something else: the reward of being one. The official beer of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Not for persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
Hello, Mr. Mkasa. Hello, how are you? I'm okay, sir. Are you the broker? The original one. I was told you have very good rentals. That is right. How many bedrooms do you want? I want 3 bedrooms. Okay, did I tell you of the price? Yes, of course. 500,000. No. This side, the salary went a bit high. Why? Because the paint we use is of good quality. So the price gained the value. Which paint? Global Paint. How? For the ceiling, for us we use Global Mat. And for the inside walls, we use Global Silk Vinyl. Okay, tell me about the outside walls. Outside we use Global Weather Coat Emulsion so that the walls don't peel. I'm really impressed. The precision you put while painting, I'm willing to pay any amount. That is true, because here for us quality is paramount and the price becomes umite.
Global Paint, a reliable product. Carrying cash can be stressful. The I&M Bank multi-currency prepaid card makes paying smart and simple. Load and spend confidently in 9 currencies: Ugandan shilling, Kenyan shilling, Tanzanian shilling, Rwandan franc, Indian rupees, United States dollar, British pound, euro, and South African rand. Enjoy safe, simple payments wherever you go. The I&M Bank multi-currency prepaid card is open to everyone, whether you have an I&M Bank account or not. Get yours today and pay confidently worldwide in 9 currencies.
I&M Bank Uganda Limited is regulated by Bank of Uganda. Customer deposits are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund up to 10 million shillings. Terms and conditions apply.
I&M Bank, on your side.
In the heart of comfort and class, where every arrival feels like a welcome home. Experience spaces designed for rest, where elegance meets relaxation in every detail. Stay energized, stay inspired with wellness tailored to your lifestyle. For business that matters, find spaces built for productivity, connection, and success. Indulge in flavors that bring people together, from casual moments to refined dining. Celebrate life's milestone in spaces designed to make every moment unforgettable. Sorova Putiko Hotel, where business meets comfort and every stay becomes an experience.
It is the government of the Republic of Uganda that has finalized preparations for the emergency distribution of food relief across Karamoja sub-region, with the first consignments expected to reach the worst-hit communities by Friday. And that's very much this week. The intervention follows reports that at least 16 people have died from hunger within the region, prompting the government to fast-track an emergency food assistance program. According to the Minister of State for Disaster Preparedness, Lydian Abe, every beneficiary household will receive 20 kilograms of maize flour and 10 kilograms of beans.
Figures from the Uganda Bureau of Statistics indicate that Karamoja has a population of 1,496,117 people living in 313,987 households. However, many of these households, 81.4%, have been highlighted as food insecure. These alarming figures have been laid bare by the prolonged drought that has devastated the region, leading to hunger that has claimed 16 lives, underscoring the severity of the humanitarian situation. The worsening conditions have forced the government into urgent action, culminating into the release of 45 billion Uganda shillings to procure and distribute relief food comprising maize flour and beans. The emergency operation has now entered its final phase, with the government confirming that food deliveries will begin arriving in Karamoja by Friday, targeting all households. The food will be transported from Kampala to each district before being dispatched to parishes where distribution will take place. Every household will receive 20 kilograms of maize flour and 10 kilograms of beans.
And this food is meant to be dispersed in the next 2 days. The quantity is that 20 kilograms of posho and 10 kilograms of beans will be given to the households which are in those areas.
Minister Bear says this is the only relief package currently available, urging beneficiaries to use it sparingly, warning that the government cannot guarantee when another consignment will be provided.
They should use this food sparingly, because we can't get more money. This is 45 billion released. We are not going to get again another money soon. So this food that we are giving is a one-off that should take them for a certain period of time as we wait for rain.
The minister has also warned against the sale of relief food, saying anyone found trading the government-issued supplies will face legal action.
Nobody should be found selling this food. This food is meant to support the household.
Once distribution in Karamoja is complete, the government will extend the relief program to neighboring districts, including Kitgum, Katakwi, Agago and others that have also been affected by the prolonged dry spell.
We're getting into numbers that matter, but here's the rider. I want you to understand these numbers as human beings and lives, not just as figures, statistics and all. So think about it. We're getting into numbers that matter, but look at this as human life. Let's get into this. First, we begin with Karamoja sub-region population statistics. We're looking at 1.4 million and another 96,117 human lives. And then households, we're talking 313,987. Average household size, we are talking 4.7 persons. There's nothing like 0.7 persons, but I hope you get the picture there. And then working age, that was between 14 and 64 years, that is the age frame. You're talking 741,539 human beings. And then our source is definitely the Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Now, households in subsistence economy, and the president has wanted people to get out of this economy, but those still stuck there in Karamoja sub-region is 222,491, and there's that one person. Then food insecurity in the household, you're talking 81.4% of the population in Karamoja is food insecure, and that is definitely a very, very huge number to be thinking about. Again, our source is the Uganda Bureau of Statistics as far as the figures are concerned. Households in subsistence economy, that is the figure right there. In terms of development and getting our products on the international market, the president has done some bits, and as part of the government strategy to promote value addition and drive industrialization, President Yoweri Museveni, who is also Kaguta, has commissioned the NEC, that is the National Enterprise Corporation Meat and Beans Processing Factory in Gomba District, a facility expected to reduce the country's reliance on imported military food supplies while creating jobs and expanding market opportunities for livestock farmers while increasing beef export. The project's investors say the factory will generate employment and provide for a reliable market for cattle farmers as it begins commercial meat processing. And as this is, I just like my meat. I love meat.
For years, the government has promoted value addition across key sectors, particularly agriculture, as a strategy to increase export earnings and create jobs. President Yoweri Museveni has consistently maintained that exporting raw products denies the country greater economic returns. Today, the president commissioned the NEC Meat and Beans Processing Factory in Chisozi, Gomba District. The facility is a joint venture between the National Enterprise Corporation NEC, the commercial arm of the UPDF, and a private investor. According to NEC Managing Director Lieutenant General James Mujira, the factory will produce ready-to-eat canned meat, reducing the military's dependence on imported rations. He said the UPDF currently spends about $2 million annually on imported canned food, in addition to approximately shillings 42 billion on fresh meat every year.
So this, in a way, will create some level of self-sufficiency as far as feeding our forces is concerned and save the country from spending the much-needed foreign exchange to import dry ration. For example, Your Excellency, the UPDF dry ration for this financial year is over $2 million.
Factory investors say the plant has the capacity to slaughter 150 cattle a day, equivalent to about 39,000 cattle annually. They say this will provide a reliable market for livestock farmers while creating employment opportunities across the value chain.
It is expected to increase incomes for livestock farmers through reliable market access.
Your Excellency, this facility has already created direct employment of our youth, engineers, food scientists, and technicians.
The investors, however, appealed to the president to address persistent shortages of electricity and water in the area. They cited unstable power supplies, saying frequent outages have damaged equipment and disrupted production.
As you see this factory, before even offtake, it takes us about $100,000 to just maintain it and keep it on. That is the salaries, the electricity. Electricity has been so unreliable, and that introduces a new problem of water.
President Museveni assured the investors that government would continue prioritizing market access, citing Uganda's progress in the coffee sector as an example of how value addition can drive exports and economic growth.
The beef, the cows in 1986 were only 3 million cows. They are now 16 million. It's not very well streamlined yet, but it is easy to do so. The stimulus to make us do so is the market. Once I am sure about the market, I can mobilize the Ugandans.
The president also criticized some government ministers for failing to adequately support investors after granting them license to operate. Referring to concerns raised by the investors, including the high cost of fuel, he directed the responsible officials to resolve the outstanding challenges, with the newly appointed ministers pledging action.
When you hear that a factory is here but has no reliable electricity, the question is, what was the pastor doing? Because if the factory was licensed, therefore with this new team, that's why I had really to make some changes in some of these sectors. With this new team, I'm sure.
Following the meeting, the investors requested a private audience with the president to discuss operational challenges.
Our people are getting jobs and they are going to learn skills.
Opening markets, tapping into the international market. International markets require certain SOPs. Special factories like these.
Museveni later held a closed-door meeting with them and the relevant ministers, which the media was not.
Feedback brought to you by
In business, you need advice, solutions, and sector expertise when it matters.
Your new office space looks great. What's next?
We get it. Absa Business Banking.
Generally speaking, meat and beans are never in the same sentence, but that's a conversation for a different day. Let's get into the feedback.
No, when you get to serving buffet, there's always an option of those who eat meat and those who eat beans.
You are beans. I have meat. Let's get into this.
How much meat have you eaten?
A meat processing factory has been commissioned in Gomba district. How best can the local population benefit from these particular investments? Let's listen to anybody here who knows something about what we're talking about.
NBS Live at 9 right there. And Cosma Samteida says the local population can best benefit from the newly commissioned meat processing factory by positioning themselves as reliable supply chain partners, seek direct and indirect employment opportunities, and also leverage on the newly developed local infrastructure. I think this infrastructure needs to be communicated. That's the gist of the matter, I think. Because who knows where to take the beans, where to take the meat, in what quantities and of what quality.
And what we'll ask the audience on this set, there's a cattle farmer and a crop grower. The question is who of the two is which one.
But I don't think they are growing crops in Buziga.
Organized farmers into cooperatives. This helps small investors keep small livestock keepers meet. How did I get it? This helps small livestock keepers meet supply volumes. Yes, quality standards and bargaining power. Use byproducts, hides and skins, bones, blood, fat, manure, and other byproducts that can support leather work, animal feed production, and biogas. A cow has nothing to throw away, right?
Nothing. From eating the head to the hooves to the... Have you eaten the joint of the cow? Have you eaten the blood blood of the cow?
I hear people eat it.
Anyway, you people who grew up in Buziga will never know these things.
The hide of a cow is here.
Is it that?
Yeah.
All right. I think that NEC has to communicate properly what needs to be done for the local people inside Gomba and around Gomba to be able to benefit from some of this infrastructure. NBS Live at 9 takes a break. We'll return with more stories.
Absolutely.
The NCBA Auto Show 2026 is taking over Kololo Independence Grounds on July 17th, 18th, and 19th, starting 9 a.m. Experience luxury dream cars, vintage classics, thrilling stand shows, and unbeatable deals on vehicle financing and accessories. 3 days, non-stop car entertainment, one unforgettable experience. Tickets are just 20,000 shillings via Missouri Pay by dialing *212# or at the gate. Don't miss Uganda's ultimate automotive experience, the NCBA Auto Show 2026. Brought to you by NCBA Bank.
Go for it.
You need a bigger space to grow your business. You need to be ready for any season.
You need to stop here before we roll.
You need faster checkouts for these busy days.
In business, you need advice, solutions, and sector expertise when it matters.
Your new office space looks great. What's next?
We get it. Absa Business Banking.
Start something new, something uplifting, something so effortless and golden. A thirst-quenching burst of sweetness and multi-flavor. So rich and full of memories. It's 100% taste, 0 alcohol. Try it. Savor it. Feel it elevate every moment. Sip after sip, gulp after gulp. After all, life's about turning ordinary thrills into golden chills.
Start something malty with the new Evervest Malt Apple and Pineapple. Try the burst of sweetness and malty flavor. It's 100% taste, 0 alcohol. Available in a shop or supermarket near you. Evervest Malt. Make every moment golden. Evervest Malt is from the makers of PepsiCo.
Uganda, are you ready for the biggest honey show in Africa? This August, Tunado welcomes the world to the 4th Africa Apimondia Symposium and Exhibition featuring honey show, apiculture, learning sessions, and business networking opportunities under the theme Beekeeping for Business and Livelihoods. Come join apiculture leaders, researchers, processors, investors, and food systems practitioners from across Africa and beyond. Come and be part of this historic gathering from the 25th to the 28th of August 2026 at Hotel Africana, Kampala. The 4th Africa Apimondia Symposium and Honey Show is organized by Tunado in partnership with Come, Network, Learn, Grow.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched, fuel-efficient and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800-211-033 to get started.
Searching for the right investment destination, Kabalega Petro-based Industrial Park is now open for business in Hoima, Uganda. Over 221 plots measuring 536 acres are available for petrochemicals, agro-processing, manufacturing, industrial services, logistics, warehousing, ICT, hospitality, commercial and residential. Don't let this opportunity pass you. Visit the KIP Investor Portal at kip.unoc.com. Discover the various investment opportunities and project updates, create an account, and book a site visit at KIP. Kabalega Petro-based Industrial Park is open for business. Invest in KIP, invest in Uganda.
Let's go to the courts, and that's very different from what I'm wearing, a coat. Now, High Court has given jailed opposition figure retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Kifefe 2 weeks to choose legal counsel of his choice from the list of 786 state-funded lawyers after he asked for more time to assess the competence and suitability of the advocates proposed to represent him. The directive follows an earlier ruling by trial judge Justice Emmanuel Baguma, who ordered that the Dr. Besigye and his co-accused Haj Obed Lutale be provided with state-funded legal representation after the pair opted to part ways with their private lawyers, citing alleged security concerns.
The order was issued on Wednesday by Criminal Division Judge Emmanuel Baguma, who adjourned the case to July 29, 2026, after granting the accused persons more time to scrutinize the list of advocates provided under the state brief scheme. The developments came after the prosecution led by Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions Thomas Jatiko and Chief State Attorney Richard Birivumbuka served the accused with all the evidence the state intends to rely on during the trial. Jatiko informed court that the prosecution had complied with an earlier directive to disclose its evidence. The disclosures include statements from investigating officers, among them Nelson Nathumanya and another investigator. Both Besigye and Lutale acknowledged receipt of the documents and appended their signatures. Following confirmation that disclosure had been completed, Justice Baguma turned to the issue of legal representation. At the previous court session, the judge directed the registrar of the High Court to avail the accused persons with a list of advocates accredited to offer legal aid under the state brief scheme after Besigye and Lutale dispensed with their private lawyers, citing alleged security threats against their legal team. When asked whether they had selected lawyers from the list, Besigye told court that the document containing the names of 786 advocates had only been delivered to him at around 6 p.m. on Tuesday, making it impossible to make an informed decision. Besigye argued that the case involves serious and complex charges covering alleged events in 4 countries, with some of the evidence expected to be highly technical, including electronic evidence.
So in selection of legal representation, it's vital that we understand the competencies of the various lawyers on this role.
He said the list supplied by the court only contained the lawyers' names, year of enrollment, areas of jurisdiction, and telephone contacts, without information about their competence or experience in the handling complex criminal cases. Besigye asked the court to provide guidance that would enable him and Lutale to assess the qualifications of the lawyers before making a choice. He also reiterated that they remained comfortable with their original legal team led by deported Kenyan Martha Karua and jailed Arias Lukwago, and would still prefer to be represented by them once concerns over their security are resolved.
The legal team we have is a team we are very comfortable with.
The opposition figures also questioned the necessity of providing him with state-funded legal representation, arguing that he and Lutale are capable of paying for lawyers of their own choice. He said it would be unjustifiable for taxpayers to shoulder the cost of their defense at a time when many Ugandans are struggling with hunger.
I think it would be an injustice to the people of Uganda pay for lawyers for us when we are able to meet the requirements of our representation, especially in these hard times when people are dying of hunger.
Meanwhile, the court registrar had proposed 3 advocates under the state brief scheme to represent Besigye. They are Sarah Awero, who recently represented Christopher Okello Nyum and was sentenced to death for killing 4 school children in Gaba, Julius Sirwambala, and Sylvia Namaweje.
The second Deputy Prime Minister and Deputy Leader of Government Business in Parliament, Dr. Crispus Kionga, has told Parliament that security chiefs need more time to prepare a comprehensive report on the whereabouts of NUP Vice President Buganda and former Tambala Member of Parliament Mwanga Chivumbi Mohammed, who was arrested on Friday. Dr. Kionga's statement does come after the Leader of Opposition, Joe Senyonyi Bisechezi, informed the House on Wednesday that it was now the 6th day since the arrest, but Chivumbi's family, lawyers and doctors have all failed to establish where he is being held.
We have heard him clearly, but for me also to be able to give you a fitting answer, I request that I return tomorrow and give you a fitting answer.
Today is day number 6, and we don't know his whereabouts. The Deputy Leader of Government Business promised, promised that today he will give us a report of where the Honorable Mohammed Mwanga Chivumbi is. So I thought I should remind him through you to give us that feedback.
When I left here, I got in touch with our security chiefs, the heads of security agencies, and they have requested me to give them a little more time so that they can facilitate me with an appropriate report to give to Parliament. His family doesn't even know where to visit him. Lawyers, if there is any criminal matter. So why should we allow for more time to continue violating Article 23? I find that very problematic. I had expected the good doctor to come here and tell us he is in this place, he is being produced in court.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. What we need is the power to do it our way. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lomé, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with plain, quiet, relentless movement. This is Africa, powered by us.
From 11 June to 19 July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches on 4 dedicated channels, live on SuperSport, only on DSTV.
The problem is the foundation.
Do you know the kind of cement I'm using in this foundation? I guarantee you even my grandchildren will come and find this house.
You buy your buy today and get the job done. Strong, reliable, available at hardware shops countrywide.
MTN voice bundle. Yeah. Load. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son, Opio. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now, they have free MTN to MTN minutes. And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later. Mama.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100 *21# and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
A coalition of transport sector stakeholders has launched a nationwide campaign to provide 1 million sanitary pods to vulnerable schoolgirls, with border riders, members of parliament and government leaders pledging financial support to promote menstrual hygiene and reduce school dropouts linked to lack of access to sanitary products.
Speaking at the launch, Union Transport Alliance business advisor Fred Senoga said many women and girls linked to the transport sector continue to struggle to access quality and affordable sanitary pads.
Ugandans, we are not serious. This is a cause we can tackle and cure it. Our target is the 45 days we would have cleaned out 1 million. But as you hear the statistics from the Ministry of Health, they are proposing we rather push it up to 6 to 8 million. So the more we mobilize the whole community, I think this will be a very, very good cause.
National Union Border Chairperson Frank Maweje said border riders have embraced the campaign and will begin by supporting 500 schoolgirls in Kampala. He pledged that the initiative will become an annual program to help reduce school dropout rates among girls. Maweje also pledged 2 million shillings to support girls from underprivileged families in Kawempe and urged fellow riders to join the campaign.
Wetaaga okugula paaka ya just ya mitwalo egyo ebiri n'ogidonatingira omwana oyo omuwala atalina busobozi bwa paadi eyo. Omwana oyo omuwala ogenda kubanga omuwadde omukisa okwetaba mu byemizannyo, ogenda kuba omuwadde omukisa okwetaba mu birthday parties oba parties zonna ogenda kuba omuwadde omukisa okubeera mu class for a full year.
Campaign Ambassador Diana Ampidi Kampe commended men for taking the lead in supporting menstrual hygiene, saying the initiative will restore dignity and confidence among young girls.
First of all, they are men. And to find that they found an opportunity to empower a young girl, the flowers of this country. The main reason why it's become so easy, you know, Transport Alliance is across these 146 districts in this country. And it so happens that they're the same people if they've been said to be the users of these young girls. So if you find that they're at the forefront of pushing to protect and to create awareness to these young girls, and on top of that to donate these 1 million pads, then it becomes so easy for us also as partners.
Chairperson of Parliament's ICT Committee, Andrew Ojok, described the campaign as a practical investment in girls' education, noting that a contribution of 20,000 shillings can help keep a girl in school for an entire year. He pledged 5 million shillings and promised to rally fellow members of Parliament to support the initiative.
You can afford 20 million, kindly give it them. Because that child whose education been cut short has an opportunity now to resume school, and this is someone useful to this country. Many struggle hopeless. Poor hygiene and lack of baths. These countless dreams shattered. Menstruation is not ashamed.
Menstrual hygiene as a priority. Good to see that stuff. Now, as Uganda joins the rest of the world to commemorate World Youth Skills Day, stakeholders have called for stronger collaboration between training institutions, employers and government to equip young people with skills that match the demands of the job market. The enterprise development and decent work expert at Enable, David Maraka, says more than 700,000 young people graduate from training institutions every year but struggle to secure employment due to mismatch between skills they possess and those required by employers.
During a visit to African mushroom growers in Luvuma Zone, Machindya Division in Kampala, the managing director, Abel Chidu, revealed that the enterprise has been training and employing young people since 2010, noting that youth employment is a strategic investment because young people are the driving force of the economy. Chidu says that through the We Work project funded by Enabel, the company has trained many young people, although some arrive with no practical skills while others are difficult to train.
Is that the youth should embrace continuous learning. The youth should always be eager to learn something new, especially if it is maybe digital skills. They should learn some trade. They should be willing to take on whatever is available. One
of the beneficiaries, Katusi J. Winfred, who joined African mushroom growers in August 2025, says she had no prior skills but has since acquired practical knowledge in value addition that has led to her promotion as a production assistant.
Before coming here, I thought it was all about just mushrooms when they were still fresh, but coming here, I've known now to add value on the mushrooms.
In line with commemorating the World Youth Skills Day, the enterprise development and decent work expert at Enabel, David Maraka, says more than 700,000 young people graduate from training institutions every year, but many struggle to secure employment due to a mismatch between the skills they possess and those required by employers.
Giving an example of a mechanic, if you're going to train for the old model cars that may be not so much having electrical aspects, you'll find that the youth will not get the jobs because you've trained them in mechanical or motor vehicle engineering or mechanics, and they are unable to repair an electric car.
Maraka says Enabel is addressing this challenge through a two-pronged approach that focuses on both the demand and supply sides of the labor market to ensure young people acquire practical skills that improve their chances of employment.
We are using the demand, the supply side, enabling the youth to get the appropriate skills, providing youth with opportunities for industrial placements or training opportunities, but also providing youth with job placement through the different bureaus like the KCCA Employment Bureau, and also work readiness support, working with the private sector.
Business Pulse, brought to you by
Now, the government's suspension of silverfish fishing continues to disrupt livelihoods in fishing communities along the shores of Lake Narubare in Buikwe district. At Chiyindi landing site, the once busy silverfish market is now deserted. The trading area is empty, while many former traders and fishermen spend their days playing board games after losing their source of income.
It's been a while since government slapped a ban on silver fishing. At several landing sites, silverfish stores remain closed, rental houses have been abandoned and boats lie idle along the lakeshore, reflecting the impact of the prolonged suspension. Residents are appealing to the government to clear guidance on proper fishing methods so they can resume work.
Legislation is about mukene extraction should be looked into with immediate effect so that people can resume their work. Apart from decreasing the boat, we still think that the legalizing of scoop net is the legalizing of illegal fishing. And in the future, you witness it.
Many say they are struggling to repay bank loans, with some already losing property.
We are requesting for the government to assist us as women in the silverfish.
Local leaders say the crisis has left many families unable to meet basic needs, including paying school fees for their children.
40% in the Chiyindi Town Council has dropped out from school, 40%. And then domestic violence, it is on a high level.
Leaders estimate that nearly 60% of the residents who relied on silverfish value chain are now unemployed, highlighting the ban's widespread economic impact.
So we believe that with these new regulations that are coming up through MAIV, our revenue will increase. I know our people are not happy. Some of our people are not happy with the regulation, but with development, things have to change. Things have to be in order.
Minister Migade says the government is implementing reforms in the fisheries sector to improve management and promote sustainable fishing with the aim of enabling fishing communities to resume their livelihoods.
Those people being in Mukene, they will fish, but they will be guided on which method and how. Those people who put on whatever, everything, we are here to regulate the entire sector.
From the Falkland Islands